Good morning, everyone, and welcome to 2024. This is the first in a extended series of webinar programs we've put together for our clients going forward so that they have a very good understanding of how the software works and how to best utilize it for your company. We understand there's a lot of documents, videos, and resources at your disposal to be able to help set up Jobman, but often it's good to have in place a program where you can literally go past each part of the software, how it works, what it's for, and how maybe it can be best utilized by your company. So this is the first session. Welcome and thank you. It's Understanding Jobman, and it's volume 1 in our Lunch and Learn series. Today will be very straightforward. The first series is just to give you a bit of an oversight into Jobman and how it works, and some early quick, resources you can utilize to start getting up and running as fast as possible. So what are we looking at today? First, what is Jobman? I know it sounds like a very ridiculous question, but for a lot of people, they come to us looking for a solution to fix one problem, and they don't realize necessarily just how much the software can do. So we're going to give a bit of an overview into what the software looks like and what that process can be utilized by your company. Part of that is a really good training process map for those that want to deep dive in and get the best out of their software. We're going to cover some basic user navigation and of course the in-app help, which is a big one for a lot of people, so that you're not left waiting around looking for answers at any moment, any time. You can use the software to start getting everything set up and moving in the right direction. I'll briefly mention the YouTube channel and videos for those who haven't found it yet, and how much resources available at your fingertips to be able to use this software. And then at the end, a quick demonstration of some basic setup and what seeded sites really look like for the software, how much pre-configuration we do to get you moving on the right path as fast as possible. So the big question is, what is Jobman? Jobman, by definition, is an ERP, which is an enterprise resource planning software. Essentially, all that means is it's a tool designed to help bring transparency and a lot of accountability into your business by providing a platform where all of the staff and all of the team can get involved. Nothing becomes hidden. Everyone knows what's going on. And then as we move through the process in an end-to-end fashion and utilize functionality such as the job management system, we can automate your business, buy you back time, and give you, more time to spend working on your business rather than in the business. That's pretty short and curly. Obviously, it's a big program and there's a lot going on in there. But realistically, if you wanted to nut it down to a line, that's what Jobman is. We're there to be through every step of the process with your business. So, from the moment a client walks through the door, right through the lead management process, right through the manufacturing, integrations with accounting softwares to automate your invoicing, purchase ordering, and contact management, save a lot of double handling. And then, of course, have the team log into those operations, measure time, and come out the other side with reporting, which is, the ultimate key of any ERP, is to provide you with the key insights you need to improve your processes, make your business more scalable and profitable, and give you everything at your fingertips to make sure everything's running on track, and basically make life a lot happier without the need for a firefighting culture within your business. So you can see there, it is a full end-to-end platform, no matter what type of manufacturing you're in. This system is open and flexible to all different types of processes. This here is a very detailed process map, but it gives a good indication of if you were looking to really incorporate all this software properly to the fullest of its extent and capability for your business. These would be the areas you'd want to look at, and this is a nice flow. Now, you don't need to worry about, obviously you can, one of the advantages of this video is you'll be able to tackle it later down the track, and you can pause and stop as you need to wherever. And that is the whole idea behind this LMS program, is to give you the information you need to be able to work with us and basically have us there helping you set up the software and utilize these videos for you and your staff. So this here, just this map, so don't worry about it. You don't need to pause it. If you go into our getting started with Jobman docs, basically search the help functionality, which I'll show you in a minute, and you look up the resources guide, there's a Jobman setup flow guide, and that's this here. So you can access it anytime, come back to it, save it to your computer, have it there. It's a very good guide. Now, it's worth mentioning at this point, one of the best benefits of this platform is if you're trying to solve one problem, you can come into the software, look at this setup guide, tackle that problem, win yourself back some time, and then move forward and see what else the software can do for you. So that it's not as though you have to start at step 1 and move through to step 28. You can come in and say, for example, you wanted to manage your jobs. That was your big issue at the moment is your job scheduling. It's a bit chaotic. We don't understand our capacity. What's going on? We really just want a software platform to come in and solve that really quickly. You can dive directly into the job setup, work through your workflow, configure it a little bit to suit your business, set up your capacity, and start adding jobs. That easy. So it's not as though you need to do all these other processes, but we do find for a lot of clients, they really are looking for a way in which they can tackle the whole platform and set it up properly the right way the first time, so that as they integrate and stage out in their business, all the information is ready to go. So if that's definitely what you're looking for, this process map will really help you with that. And then what I cover next will help you target those areas for the fastest and best way to get use out of that software. And that's by utilizing and understanding what is Jobman. You know what I mean? So as I just mentioned, is an end-to-end program, and the way the software is set up is designed to really help you with that process. So you can see here on the left-hand side of your software is what we call the left-hand user menu panel. You've got your organization, your dashboard, your name and your individual staff member information, so you can quickly access, timesheets and stuff like that. And then the left-hand panel is designed to follow you through that process. So you start with the contact management, which moves into the lead management, which then allows you to quote and put in things like item specs and job specs. Once those quotes are accepted and won, they can be turned into invoices and then synced with your accounting software. Once that lead process is done and won, you can pull into the job management. From there, if there's any information the team needs to let you know about relevant to that job, we have things like alerts and triggers built into the software. We have your target calendar and capacity, which are two extremely powerful rescheduling tools, and the ability, of course, to see where you're up to at all times with your business, and make sure that you've got enough capacity there to build in and take on the work you're looking at. It's worth noting that it is also one of the most powerful features of Jobman in that our capacity is into it. And what I mean by that is, as you add more jobs and leads and projects into Jobman, Jobman will automatically try its best to even keel those workflows and make sure that the team is running at a good pace all the time without you having to worry about, can we fit this in? What's going on? Is that job there? Etc. So it's a really powerful part of the software, and it's certainly a big thing that a lot of clients come to straight off the bat: job scheduling and capacity. We have your catalog and inventory management. So we have the ability to handle purchase ordering and your inventory, and that will flow through into the purchase ordering for those goods for those jobs. And then that pretty much rounds out the cycle. The team does the work, it comes back through, they measure their time versus the operations. You can see the resource management being used, purchase ordered or pulled from inventory, and all of that creates that end-to-end process from start to finish. And that's why we've set the user menu panel up in that way, I guess, to make it nice and easy to flow and follow. And then as that process ends, of course, you then want to be able to access your reporting. So the reporting is the last part of that panel. So you can see, test, see what leads have been won and lost, quote values, stock values, job values, and most importantly, job cost values. We've quoted on the jobs, we've run them through our system. The team has measured their time versus the operations. We've purchase ordered materials, we've purchase ordered services with the system. Now let's collate all that data and give you the true value of the software, which is estimated versus actual, all rolled into a nice, easy to follow package. Down the bottom, you'll notice the help menu panel, kiosk mode access, and the settings. I'll jump onto a couple of those in a second for you, but that just keeps it nice and clean on the system. You'll also notice that the left-hand user menu panel is collapsible. So utilizing that small arrow, you can push it across and increase the real estate of your screen, and it can be easily expanded again if you're looking for those settings and options. Jobman is status driven. So what I mean by that is that a lot of the screens that you'll see as you're working through the software really pinch on statuses, and statuses are a fast way to filter the information. So for example, on your job screen, if you just want to see all the jobs right now that are in an initial process, such as job setup and maybe first stage manufacturing, you can simply click on those statuses. It will automatically filter that information. If you don't want to see completed jobs, for example, and just be focused on what everyone's working on right now, you can choose all of the statuses except for job complete. Those are just some examples, and it's throughout the software. And it's definitely worth noting because it's a good use case for a lot of people of how to define and refine the information they're seeing. The last part, which is extremely useful for the software, is even though you have this left-hand user menu panel, it's not a requirement at all times that you have to keep going back to sections to get to another area. You'll notice, and we have a picture here for you, that a lot of the information in the software is hyperlinked. So what that means is, for example, if you're on your agenda screen, so it's one of the first screens you'll see on your dashboard, and I open up an operation, I can see the job number is linked there, the labor center is there, the operation is linked there. If I click on any of those, they will take me directly to the job, or the settings for that operation, or the labor center capacity. So it's very useful, and it's throughout the software, whether it be notifications, quotes, invoices. It's a lot of it is there so that you can simply click and go directly to the area you want without having to backtrack through the user menu panel. So we try as much to save you as much time during the day and make the process as smooth and easy as possible for you to use. You'll also notice down the bottom that a lot of the software includes activity logging, and this is very important to a lot of customers. They like to know, who's completed tasks, when have these things been set, what's happened, where are we up to. So it's not about blame or pointing the finger, it's simply about that opaque transparency so that everyone's on the same page and we know who to go talk to if there's an issue or something arises. And a lot of the areas also include notes, so you can you or any of the project management team can make notes relevant to those tasks or operations so that it becomes clear and visible for the rest of the team if they need to know something around what's going on. The settings menu is very easy to use. It's been set up intentionally in such a way that it's not hard to find anything. I know sometimes there are software platforms out there where you go looking to change something, you're like, where is that setting? And it doesn't make any sense where it is. So we've made our user setting panel extremely easy to use and follow. For example, if you were to bring up a document, you wanted to tweak your workflows for either leads or jobs, for example, you go down to the workflows tab. There's your current workflows. You can tweak and modify them. You don't need to go into other background settings to make it happen. The software is very intuitive. You can simply make that change and then have that flow through for all your future jobs and leads going on from there. And things like triggers, that would make sense, which are linked to those operations and tasks being ticked off, are in that section. So it's easy to use, easy to find, and very quick to navigate around the software. In aid of that, we've done our best from 15 plus years of experience in training and integration software platforms with companies all around the world to put as much knowledge and experience as we have into the software. And that comes via the in-app help. So down the bottom of that left-hand user menu panel, you'll see the help button. You pop that up and a screen will appear on the same screen, which is good. I love it. You can, find a document, have a quick read. They're not very long. Nothing in the software is very complicated to set up, really. And come in, open up that document, and while it's on your screen, do the work, which is fantastic. Now, there's hundreds and hundreds of documents in there. They're all very short. Most of them also have links to videos as part of. We understand a lot of people are visual learners, so sometimes good just to see how that would work for my business. There's a lot of key codes in there. So if you're searching for something and you're not quite sure what you're trying to achieve, but you're looking for something, say for example, you typed in your CAD/CAM package, a document will come up most likely if we support it to help you get that running and moving forward. So the best part about that is it means you're never waiting, really, if you need to move forward with a setting change or configuration. It's not like you're having to reach out to someone and wait for them to get back to you. You can literally go into the software, pick up the information, make the change, move forward. And also that is accessible by anyone with Office user role licensing in the software. So one of the best parts about this for our clients is if you have new staff or transient staff coming through your business and as part of their onboarding and role, you can have them do a little bit of research and documentation. Now, if you click on any of those links, again, they're hyperlinked, it will open up the full screen document. So if you are looking again, just to have a run through our docs and sort of use them side by side with maybe the process map, I highly recommend it. It will open another tab. It's a big screen. You can sort of look at that information, filter through. And again, if you're trying to solve one thing today, you can tackle that area, go to that section of the documents and videos, get that bit done, move on with your day, and then get on to the next level of settings. It's also worth noting from this menu panel is how you access support. So if you run into like a bug or an issue and you're like, that doesn't seem quite right, you don't have to go looking for our support team. You can simply click on the Ask, which is the little button there. It will take you to a form. Fill in that form. It's recorded. It has links in the background with your organization name, so we can obviously the team can get onto it and know who they're responding to. And then that's how you can access our support team very easily. Keep in mind that the majority of the support we deal with on a one-on-one basis is related to bug or status issues. If you're simply asking questions that are best left for the documents, it's likely the team will sort of low prioritize them because the information is there for you already. So it's worth noting, really trying to use that support for any issues you come across, or you can reach out for training. 99% of the information should be at your fingertips. If it ever isn't, please do let us know as well. We're always interested in expanding our documentation, making sure it's very useful for our client base. And then any areas where we get a lot of inquiries about, these tend to be the things that I like to pick up and jump into these webinars and deep dives about. Speaking of training, it's not like we just let you to the wind for the vast majority of clients. The resources there, and it's free. You know what I mean? The resources, we have the documents are free, we have the videos are free, the webinars are free. We literally give away thousands of dollars worth of education to our clients to give you the best use of the software. We're very passionate about helping our clients and their solution, and we want to make sure Jobman is extremely accessible. With that said, from time to time, people do like to reach out if there's particular areas of the software they want some help with. You can jump into the support desk, shoot us through a ticket, and say, I'd like to book some training. It's only 150 plus GST an hour at the moment. It's extremely affordable. We book in a training time and off you go. If you just want to get into this software, which the vast majority of clients do, get things set up, get rocking and rolling, easy. You got the documents. I highly recommend you subscribe to the YouTube. We put a lot of information up there. We're constantly updating the videos as well. This is not a static platform. It's improving and evolving all the time. So we're updating our videos. We put more webinars on there. We put very useful integration videos, any major new features that come through. We're all about giving. So we give as much as we can. So it's definitely worth subscribing. So now that we've sort of covered the what is, the how is, the how to access, and the why, I just want to take a couple of minutes just to sort of run through a basic look at some of the user menu panels in the software, how to access the stuff we just talked about so it's really clear, and give you a bit of an idea and understanding of some very quick things you can get up and running today with your software. You can see here I've put together a brand new out-of-the-box Jobman, and I think it's worth noting that there is a lot pre-configured and set up in the software when you jump in. Those are what we call our seeded sites. So based on your industry, when you come into the software, this will be what you see, and they're configured fairly roughly. We don't want to take away, the fact that every business and organization is independent and operates differently, and we want to configure their software independently. Some people use this for project management, some for lead management, some this is a full-scale end-to-end ERP they want to bring through their whole manufacturing process. 100% software can do it. But one of the advantages is we've got a lot of experience, so we do our best to give you a bit of a helping hand. So you can see, even from the seated site, we've got some agenda screens built in. We've got a fair bit of information already plugged into the background of these settings for the user menu panel, so you can start working. What I mean by that, I'll take you into the settings now, just give you a quick tour. We're talking about workflows. So I've chosen the seated site. Cabinet making, doesn't really matter what you choose. They're all slightly different and variant based on our experience with industries. With the seated site information there, we're not going to ask you to build a workflow from scratch. We've got some examples in there. ready to go. And you might, and this is out of the box, I haven't touched this, this is just spooled up, ready to go. You may look at this process and it makes a lot of sense for your business. You're like, awesome. You can now tweak your capacity, jump in, run a job. How's it? You're off. Really, really easy to use, which is how we've designed the software. However, you may want to change some of these names. These might not be your statuses or your steps. These operations might be slightly different. For example, you might not call it production drafting. You may call it detailing. So it's nice and easy. You can come into the software, change the name, and now all of your workflows going forward will use your name. If I want to add more tasks or operations, I can do that. So that's what we mean when we talk about setup. It's not really setup, it's configuration. A lot of the setup is there. You're now just configuring it for your business. And utilizing all the information we've sort of gone through today, the best way to be able to do that is access this help menu. Here's our documents. And we try as much to put tips and tricks and information in there, not just the how to do it, like click here, click that, but also what does it mean? We've put a lot of these tips and tricks throughout the documentation. So you've got a lot of that availability in here. We put as many pictures into the software as possible, so it's really clean. You can sort of follow left and right as it's happening. As I said before, this is here, so I can be working on this while this screen is still open. However, if I do want to, as I mentioned previously, I can click on this. It will open a new tab. It will take you to the full document suite or the full academy for Jobman in a bigger format. Maybe it's easier to read, so you can sort of duplicate your screens, work between the two. And of course, you can come in here, and if there's other areas you want to look at and get a bit of an understanding and idea of what you want to do next, I can access those really easily. And then the videos, which a lot of these documents do have attached. Again, they're not very long. Will take you directly to our YouTube. So even if you didn't pick up the YouTube on the previous screen, not a problem. You can come into the software anytime, access the YouTube, subscribe. We've built it really functionally. There's playlists in there, so you can access those playlists. For one of the first playlist you'll come across, in fact, is the help and user settings, getting started, tips and tricks, workflow processes, all the little things early on the bat to really help you get up and running with this software fast. And then it's in a nice structured order to help you run through the software. So everything is there really to make your life easier. So you can follow these processes, get this software set up and get the best out of it, which is good. I'm just going to quickly show you through that left-hand user menu panel. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. We will be breaking down this LMS literally into 12 parts so that we have enough time to cover each of these properly for you, because I know there's probably a lot of questions around each of the areas in Jobman. Like I said, a lot of clients come in looking to solve one problem, and their problem is job management capacity. So they get those set up. They're like, okay, cool. I sort of get this. I can see that. But I wish there was more automation. And you start reading the documents and looking through, and you realize that if you use the lead flow, even if it's not a heavy part of your process, it's worth having that built in, because resources that you put in there, such as files, item specs, quotes, invoices, then when that progresses into a job, come across into the job. And that's how we can gain a lot of automation with the software, automate our scheduling, build our capacity with a few clicks. So that's a really good part. So the first I guess screen on the software is the dashboard. This generally currently houses agenda screens and activity screens. There is also, you'll notice once you start working on some tasks, that recent tasks will appear here. So you've always got a really fast way to operate and come back into the software, see where you're up to, and keep working on things you're working on from the previous night. The contact management system can either be utilized via importing directly from your accounting software. So for example, if you connect up to Xero and Myable, we'll be covering this in the next video, or your contacts will flow through. If we don't support your accounting software, not a problem. It's very easy to use our importing in the software to bring all your contacts and suppliers and staff in. Lead management, as I said before, this will be where we sort of start the process. We take the contact, push into the lead as you create those leads. And you can see this is out of the box. I haven't done anything with it, so this isn't staged in any way. I've got it set up intentionally so you can see what you get at base. And then as we work through this LMS together, you'll be able to see the processes as they come live into the software. We'll build them together and we'll work out. So hopefully that gives everyone a really good understanding of how the software works and how best to use it for your area as well. The quote section again can be accessed via the leads, or you have an independent page so you can see all your quotes as they come through. Invoicing, if you want to marry up to, again, Xero and MyOver, your accounting software, so we can create some automation, save a lot of double handling. The job management page will have all your jobs as they start to come through, and job alerts in relation to where things go wrong, or the team needs to let you know what's going on. Job alerts don't necessarily need to be bad things. A lot of our clients use job alerts for things like, installer or dispatch checklists. So the team raises an alert, takes some photos, saves it, it goes up, you get notified, and hey presto, any point going forward for the next 100 years, as long as you've got Jobman, if a client comes back to you and says, hey, I think this was damaged, or, what's going on there, or this was short, you can say, look, here's the photos. This is all, our end is all good and clean. It must have happened outside. Really powerful, really good return on investment there. The target calendar is the rescheduling tool for Jobman. It's able to be filtered, and you'll see as we add data to this, that's what's going to happen. More data is going to come in. It's going to allow some filtration for the software, and we can break down and see in like an overview of perhaps all of one task or all of one job, what that flow looks like. Obviously, all this is going to make a lot more sense as we build out the software together, but it is good. It is good just to show what those menu panels mean and how they interact with each other, so you can sort of start to see that flow coming through the software. Capacity is a big one. As you can see, we've got smarts built into software to handle things like public holidays. You just choose your area and your group, your state, and we automatically link up to Google. We'll pull through your public holidays and automatically reduce the capacity in those areas so that nothing gets scheduled on times you won't be able to work. Same as weekends. This can, of course, be overridden and ready to go. The catalog and inventory management is where you can pull in your catalog from your suppliers via easy import CSVs. We've got an exportable CSV, so you can shoot it out to your suppliers, get your pricing in. That's how we start kicking off your quoting and your purchase ordering really fast. Not difficult or hard, just nice, easy processes. Get the information in, get the software working for you. You'll notice here that because this is a seeded site, I have some catalog in there known as quote pricing. I'm not going to dive into that today, but this is how I can show you out of the box very quickly. You can be quoting, running a lead, run a quote, run a job really fast, which is important. So you get a feel for the software, get it running, and then it's just a matter of tweaking it and configuring it for your business, which is awesome. Inventory management is similar, purchase ordering files, and then of course reports. Now the reporting system is set up in Jobman in such a way that we have overarch reports, so don't be stressed by the fact you only see 5 here. These are main area reports. Inside those reports is hundreds of status filters, so you can really customize the information to see how you want it presented. They can be saved as custom reports. They're refreshable as you come in. The best part of those, though, is definitely the fact that our reports are live. So this is not a system where you go looking for information and retrieve it. Every time something is happening in your software, whether you be purchase ordering or people who have put time against an operation or a task, those numbers are updating all the time. So every time you go in and you refresh and run these reports, it's giving you live information. So you don't need to wait to the end of the year to work out where the problems are. Literally within a week or two of running Jobman, you can start to see where those bottlenecks are, where the issues are present, and make changes there and then. Flexibly move forward and improve and optimize your business. So nice, easy flow, very easy to follow. Everything's in a very structured format. The help menu, again, is there. Nice and easy. The kiosk mode we're not going to touch on today. That's the secondary way that your staff will interact with the software, depending on their role within your company. We've got a whole LMS dedicated to that. And then the last thing I'll just show you very quickly before we dive into some Q&A is some stuff you can do today. So you've signed up, you've come into the software. What are some first things I can do very quickly to personalize this before I ever need to start tackling anything in the software? And the tool I highly recommend to everybody straight off the bat, just because it starts getting the software working really well straight away, is settings. Go into your general, add your website, make sure your email addresses are fine, add ABN if relevant. If you're an Australian business, choose your currency format, choose your time zone. This is an important one because this is how the software will interact around your timing. It's worth noting that Jobman is a cloud-based platform. So a lot of businesses have multiple locations. They may have a head office somewhere and they may manufacture somewhere else, or etc. that's not a problem. You can individualize this data for each staff member, so they're logging on their timeframes. But this is just how we set the overarch. And of course, we can drop and drag in here a logo. So now all our templates will have our logo. Our software's starting to fill our own. So that's definitely the first place I would be looking at in the software, just to make sure your settings make sense. The second one is the capacity. I know it sounds like a really strange thing to start on, and we'll certainly be deep diving into this further down the line, but it is definitely worth having a quick look and getting a quick understanding for what we've seeded in your labour centres, just so you can sort of look at it and go, okay, it's starting to make sense. I'm going to attach it to my public holiday group. It's picked up my public holiday group from when I signed up. Does all that automatically. There's plenty of smarts in there. Again, if you have multiple locations, you can set labour centres to different locations and allocate different public holiday groups. Really smart, easy system. But just by having a quick run over this, I can get an understanding of what these areas will look like, so that if you did want to just quickly run a test job through the software and see how that automation works, this is where you obtain that understanding of what they look like. And these are basically just buckets of work. They can be set up into individual labour centres, multiple labour centres, etc. But we'll definitely be covering that down the track. But that's a good one just to get done straight off the bat. Make your software a little bit personalised, and then dive in, tweak your labour centres a little bit, and straight away there's a workflow in there. Again, it's not your workflow yet, but it's okay. We'll run through all that. You can run it, have a look at it, and go, I get it. I can see how the software is working. So yeah, nice and easy. Those are just a couple of real quick wins for you. Obviously, as we dive into these videos, if I think of any quick and fast things that we can help to get you up and running quickly, I'll just throw them in the end. I get pretty excited seeing people kick goals really fast. So we'll do our best through these LMS to keep on track and follow the process in a structured format. But I do like giving quick wins. So that is our overview for the software. I hope that's given you a good introduction. You now may have a better understanding of what Jobman is, how it operates, how much of your business it can tackle. For a lot of people, it's quite surprising. They see the price, the month-by-month price, like, oh, it'll probably just do a few things, and they get into it. They don't realize that it really is a full-scale ERP. Very powerful, very functional, and not difficult to set up. And that's what these webinars are about. I really want to help you get the best out of your software without feeling like this is a daunting, critical task. It's going to be difficult or mind-bending. The hardest part, honestly, for most people is just wrapping their head around the processes and what they can do to now utilize this software to improve. And you get a lot of aha moments. I see it all the time with people as they're utilizing a bit of the software, and they see it and they go, oh, amazing. So thank you very much for your time.